I guess we're on.
We're on? Nice.
I guess podcast number 1, February 17th, we're going to officially start numbering them because
finally got lazy.
We have no idea how to make titles.
Yeah.
We'll just number them so we'd never have to do that.
Yeah, I got lazy, so we decided to start at 1 instead of counting. You know, counting's a hard thing.
We'll see how far up we can count. It'll probably be podcast number 1 for like 6 weeks, because
just like, just might as well.
Or we'll just stop at number 3.
Or do like podcast A1, B1.
Well, yeah.
1A.
And then do like 1 AA, 2 BB.
That would make more sense.
Yeah, we keep it more organized and simple, you know?
So today is what, February the 17th? 17? Yeah. Today is actually, it's the GOAT's birthday.
The GOAT's birthday?
I'm referring to...
Ricky Carmichael?
No, definitely not. I'm referring to Michael Jordan.
I was thinking about Michael Jordan today. About how long...
every day.
How long he had been in the league. I was like... You know, I think about basketball a lot. And I was like, I wonder how much people think about Michael Jordan.
You know, ball is life.
Ball's life.
Ball is life. I think about Jordan every day. I mean, in some capacity, whether it's his game, shoes, you know, whatever. But yeah, so happy birthday, Michael Jordan. Got to get the Hornets on track here soon. You know, that's a hot mess.
I don't know if that'll ever be.
Nah, I really don't. Charlotte's just not a basketball town.
I got drafted to the Hornets in my 2K16 My Player.
Yeah.
I got drafted to the Hornets again, no big deal.
Okay.
And that team was a pain to play on.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because all that happened was the point guard would keep the ball and then turn it over. Like, Jeremy Lin was a turnover machine. And it's like, not that it's...
Wow, are you speaking blasphemous of Jeremy Lin?
Dill insanity, dude.
Yeah,
well,
totally.
He got cursed when he left New York.
Pretty much.
Everybody does.
It's also Jim Brown's birthday. Do you know who that is? I know you're not a football guy. You gave it away, football.
Yeah.
Legendary running back for the Cleveland Browns. He's like an old curmudgeon now.
The last good player for the Browns?
Yeah, basically. Like the only good player in Browns franchise history. So I guess he had a birthday today as well.
It's like the LeBron of football, the only good player in Cleveland.
Yeah, basically. I mean, and he played like in the 60s, 70s. Oh. Yeah, it's been that long.
I was watching a lot of like sports analysis videos from this dude from SB Nation. And I can't remember what the last he was analyzing every final score in NFL history, like a ton of work, and looking at all the possibilities because of the way the point system works. And in the first like 10 years of like the history, I don't even know if it was the end, or it technically was the NFL, but there were so many like shutout games and games that were just like 6-0. And there was like
NFL history, like
in the first season.
Oh, okay.
There were 5-0-0 ties.
Oh, I'm sure.
And then the Browns.
I don't think did they have touchdowns back then?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Bears had one season where they went 10 games before they even scored a point.
Oh my god!
And fans were like waiting in line for hours.
Yeah, I don't know how you would
weather.
Watch football. You would have to get like extremely drunk, I think, to enjoy football back like in the 1930s or whatever.
It was like the early 1900s.
Oh yeah! Oh my god! Yeah, like that would just be like torturous. Like it's like a soccer game.
Yeah,
terrible to watch.
There's a video you have to watch. I'm not going to spoil it, but it's the Georgia Tech Cumberland University 222-0 football game.
What?
It's the analysis of that. I think that was 1916.
Oh my god! Wow.
That's a great video.
Yeah, they didn't even make like newspaper.
You think about
that game.
You think about it, like that would be impossible. And they break it down.
Oh yeah.
Like, they scored a touchdown every minute and 43 seconds.
Yeah. I was about to say they would have to score like a touchdown every single minute, or at least some kind of score every minute.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It's wild.
Yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, let's dive into our topics here. We got some. We did some prep work actually this week.
Yeah,
wild. So we both watched some documentaries on Netflix. Kind of cleared out our queue this weekend.
Yeah.
Or last weekend rather. And we watched this movie. It's literally just called Rats. I think Discovery Channel. It was from Discovery Channel or something like that. Yeah. That was a wild movie.
Yeah, I'd seen that scrolling through the documentary section. Because that's like where I check to find all the interesting stuff. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I don't know. Like maybe I didn't seem intrigued at first, but then you watched it and put me on it, and it was wild. It was totally wild.
I heard about it from actually the Joe Rogan podcast. He was like talking about it for some reason. Was just like mentioning it. I'm like, I had nothing else to do that, and I'm like, all right, let's watch Rats. And I was just like cringy the whole movie. That's like how it's summed up, cringy. But it was really interesting. It like kind of went over our epidemic that we have in rats, especially in big cities, and they like went to New York and was talking about the epidemic with just like the population of rats.
Yeah, and they were saying how there's at least one rat for every person.
Yeah.
And some people were like, oh, it's way more than that.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, that's an underestimate.
And then they were like going on street corners and seeing...
Oh god!
Like how they leave their trash, they just
like how restaurants leave like trash out. You know?
And they're like, this is just bags of food for rats.
This dude, like he's like a rat expert or something.
Yeah,
kind of like Charlie Day from Always Sunny.
He had like a thick Boston accent.
Yeah,
he's like in a warehouse smoking a cigar, that guy, talking about rats.
That guy was weird. The exterminator guy.
That was awesome.
I was talking about the other guy. He was like kicking the bags, and there's like he's like kicking a bag of trash on the street corner, and there's like 100 rats running out.
He was
and you're like, oh my god, what the heck?
He was giving they must have been like safety inspectors or something.
Yeah, that's what they were. They were like, some kind of health inspectors or something. But
he was giving them a tour of the city. The thing I didn't understand is why
a tour of the rats.
All the trash was right on the street corner by a drain.
Well, I mean, New Yorkers are lazy.
And that's how they just do it, because that's how the trash gets picked up.
Yeah.
But and then they were like, there was that one storm drain where 3 or 4 rats were sitting in the grate, and then 5 or 6 were in the bags.
That was intense when he put that camera down, that scope.
Yeah.
I mean, that he put it down into the drain, and like there's nothing going on in the camera, and then all of a sudden there's like a rat with its yellow teeth right in front of the camera, and you're like freaking out. Yeah. I was like, having like some like oh shit moments, like it was wild. But that was interesting too. They got into after that, kind of like talking about our epidemics in our big cities. Mm-hmm. I think they went like New York. They talked about New Orleans after Katrina. But then they got into like how different cultures around the world treat rats. And I thought the one that stuck out to me was somewhere in India. I don't know, I don't know what part of India, but somewhere in India they eat them.
Well,
they eat them like it's like, they eat them.
It was the one in India where they had the sanctuary for rats. Like,
that was the very last one. Where they're like, rats are my friend, and that's why we don't get sick from rats. And they just would eat with rats.
They were believing that everyone is reincarnated and comes back as a rat. So they had a huge sanctuary. There was like
that was bizarre.
Tens of thousands.
Like
of
they're
rats.
Sitting there like they were feeding the rats. But there was like tens of thousands. I would say
they had like jugs, like 55-gallon barrels full of chopped fruit.
Yeah,
just, like eating and sharing it with the rats.
Yeah, the rats are just like gathered around the rim of the bowl, and people are just eating it. And they're just like hanging out with the rats like they're pets or something. Disgusting.
And then there was the other one where,
but then the guy was like, the one dude was like, it's like, we don't get sick from. I'm doing a terrible Indian person accent, but I don't know. Like, imagine the dude from The Simpsons, his voice, and this guy was just like, we don't get sick from rats because we treat them like family. I'm like, what? Like, I don't think I want to see the statistics with that, like the sickness rate and stuff from people that lived in that village or whatever it was.
It was wild too, because the next, or the one they showed before that, it was somewhere, I don't know, it looked kind of like Vietnam, the landscape, where there was rice farms.
Yeah.
And they were setting traps for rats. And it spanned like 3 different people in 2 countries of how they would trap rats, sell them to a dude who would sell them to another dude who would sell them to restaurants.
Yeah, right. And then they eat. The woman was like prepping the rats.
Oh, dude.
That was... She like skins them and like puts them in water, like soaks them, skins them.
They dump them all into a big bag and drown them.
Right,
when they get them soaked with water, they had them like drown, like all in a burlap sack. Then she brings them out, and one of them was still alive, and it scared her.
Yeah, she's like, and she like smacked it.
She's got like a butcher knife. She chops off the legs, the arms, the tail, and like half of the head. Did you notice that? Just half of it?
Yeah. And they skin it up,
dude.
And then she's like, "Oh, rat's so good. It tastes like chicken but sweeter." I was like, "What?"
Tastes like chicken but sweeter.
I was like,
the whole time, she's like totally doesn't care, and you're like, "There's no way they're gonna eat this." And then it's like a real restaurant.
It was like a restaurant. And they like bring out like a 4-course meal. It was like 4 ways. Like she was grilling the rat, she was like sautéing the rat, she was frying it. So that brings in my biggest question from that movie. It was like, how would you prepare your rat if you had to eat rat?
If I absolutely had to eat a rat, well, this is pretty much how I like my food anyway. If I could like make my food,
right?
I would batter it and fry it.
Absolutely.
Fry it until it was like a powder that was like barely containable, and you take a bite out of it, and it's just like salty dust in your mouth.
Yeah, that's the only way. You gotta fry it. That's how I'm with seafood. Fry it. That's the only way. You gotta fry it.
Like crisp, fried.
You can make anything taste good fried, so you might be able to make rat taste good fried. And if it's sweeter than chicken, maybe
it is good.
If it's sweeter than chicken, that'd be dope. Like Popeyes is like missing out on something.
Popeyes rat po' boy.
Oh my god, that $5 box, five rat strips.
Real meal deal. The rat meal deal.
Oh my god.
Well, I don't know.
I would deep fry that stuff and dip it in ranch. I mean, I would like drown it in ranch and go to town.
I wonder how much. I wonder how much it actually costs, because they were at one point exchanging American currency for the rats. But really? I can't remember.
Well, there was that one. The very first, like they went somewhere in India, like Asia.
Yeah.
And they were like getting paid. Like they had like legit like government workers that were rat killers, and they would go out at night and like kill the rats, like trap rats and kill them.
That was the other place in India.
And they would get like paid per rat or something like that.
Yeah,
what they would caught.
But they were like, because it goes straight from like the people taking the tour talking about how dangerous.
Yeah,
like with their gloves, like dissecting them, and then it cuts to those dudes with they don't even have shoes on.
Yeah, my dude was like with the big beard. He was like taking the rats and like picking up alive. He was taking like his one hand and his like index finger and his thumb with it and putting it on the rat's neck, and then taking the tail and just like pulling in, like just snapping the rat's neck. That's how he was killing them. But I think that they kind of like led up to that, like the rat killers, the government rat killers. They were saying that like that area of India had been like hit really hard with plagues and stuff, and like a lot of people were dying and sick, so they had like a personal like vendetta against rats or something. Like they like, you know, right, they didn't want to just kill rats, they wanted to punish rats.
And it was weird,
was like their mentality
to see like just the way their culture was, because they were like, yeah, this is the factory where the workers sleep. Like they work there, but they sleep in front of the factory.
Yeah.
And they're like, can we help you with anything? And they're like, yeah, we're trying to sleep and rats are biting our feet.
Oh my god.
And they're just like laying on the gravel with no shoes on, being bitten by rats all the time.
And then was that Westchester or something like that? Like somewhere in was it England or Scotland?
Westchester was
where they were like sending the little terriers out to kill the rats, and that's how they were trapping.
Yeah.
They were going out to like some kind of farms or something, and they had a bunch of like little terriers, like 30 of them, and they were just going after the rats, like they were, I mean, just going to town on them, and they were, you know,
that was
like
wild too, because
bred to kill them.
You look at the people in India who like have no safety precautions except the way they actually kill the rats, because they know if they just bash them and get their guts everywhere, it's gonna spread the disease even more.
That's true.
But then the people in England, the dogs are just mauling the rats, and it's like, your dogs are disgusting now.
Yeah, exactly. And the dudes were like taking the rats, like laying them on the hood of their car or something like that.
Yeah,
that was weird to me. That was such a good movie though. I definitely recommend. That's a great watch.
That was a good one. It was interesting.
Oh, and that parasite. We were just talking about this before we went live. That parasite on the one rat. They were like, like scientists from a school were like, you know, looking at rats, blah blah blah, whatever reason.
I think they were in Texas, right?
Yeah, something like that. But they were like dissecting this rat, and like this girl pulls off the shoulder blade of the rat, and it was like embedded in its like fur and skin, like this huge parasite.
Yeah,
I want to say it was like bigger than a quarter.
Yeah,
like, it was like, yeah,
and the rat was like, it was alive dealing with that, and they're like, these things just attach to the rats, get under their skin, and lay eggs.
Yeah, they were talking about just like all the parasites that cause like E. coli. I mean, just ridiculous stuff that they cause.
It was wild.
How disgusting they are.
It was wild.
Definitely a good watch though. Definitely a watch.
Once you watch that, it gives you more power when you call someone a rat.
Yeah, right.
You're like, now I understand how disgusting you are.
But also, you could call somebody a rat and they'd be like clever or intelligent, because I mean, rats are kind of, I don't know, intelligent would be the word.
They're a different kind of intelligence.
They're adaptive.
They have a certain kind of intelligence where they would adapt to a situation, but they would still be dumb enough to let a parasite just get under their skin and lay eggs.
Like, yeah, it's like they're adaptive. They can like learn how to survive in any situation.
Yeah.
I always heard like the thing like, oh, if we had like a nuclear attack and like it was a nuclear wasteland, like rats could still survive in that environment.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Same with cockroaches. But the thing,
right? Yeah,
they could withstand the radiation and adapt. But the thing that annoys me, and it's something stupid, but like as a kid, they would always, or people would hear that and be like, you know, a cockroach would survive a nuclear blast, and be like, well, they would survive the radiation, but if it was like a bomb dropped on a
right.
cockroach, it's not going to
survive. Their shell's not like a shield or something.
It's the same people who thought terminal velocity meant there's the speed. Where if you were dropped from a plane and you reach terminal velocity, they think that means that's the speed where you die. It just means that's the terminal velocity is the fastest you can fall,
right?
Because of your weight.
Okay.
And wind resistance.
Right.
It doesn't mean
kind of like skydiving. The point of skydiving.
Yeah. It doesn't mean you fall and die because you're going so fast.
Okay, yeah. There's like a certain speed where that's where you're going to die.
No.
You hit it's like 100 miles per hour, you hit 101, you're dead.
Yeah.
No, it's not like that.
It's not like that.
Oh, okay. I've never heard that term before, but now, I learn something every day. Yeah, that was what's the one thing that the dude that we were talking about, the exterminator guy, like he was like recording his like cameos on like this weird dungeon. It was kind of creepy, but it was cool at the same time.
Yeah,
he was like talking about like he did an experiment and like locked rats into a room to where they couldn't get out of.
Oh yeah.
And he said like they eventually like they kept populating and stuff, but then they finally like started turning and eat each other and eat their babies and like
he said
when they ran or when he took the food away.
He took the food away.
That's what happened.
That's when they turned.
He was feeding them for a while. I don't know what period of time. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But then he took the food supply away. And they started turning on each other, eating the babies.
Yeah.
And like he said, like they work really good as a pack, and like they're a unit when there's food. But when the food supply's gone, they all turn on each other.
Yeah.
Which it's kind of like humans. I think that's how humanity would work in that situation. The food was all gone, water was gone. I think we'd all end up turning on each other.
I can't remember if it was with rats or a different. It might have been like mice or something. But somebody else did an experiment like that, but they did it over like a longer period of time, and saw that like the animals developed certain classes, like they respected each other differently. There was people there were a group that only cared about like their outward appearance.
Really,
kind of like
so
they would groom themselves all
alpha
day.
males and like Huh.
It was weird.
Just kind of like humans are. Yeah. Like, that's interesting.
And then the same thing, they eventually... But it had to be a different animal. They just got to such a large population, they just all turned on each other and everything fell.
Huh. It's interesting, my college and stuff, or what I'm studying for college, I've, done, like, radiation, like, and also MRI. And a lot of it, like, the basic, like, principles, like, they were all, like, tested on rats and stuff, like... the one test to figure out like the guy that basically invented MRI. Yeah. He basically like went and like took 20 rats, injected 10 with cancer and left 10 normal. Mm-hmm. And it was like comparing like the first ever MRI scans with rats and stuff. And like radiation was tested on rat testicles and stuff. It's kind of crazy how useful they've been and stuff like that, though, like medical and stuff like as like research tools.
But there's something
that's mice too. I was saying, mice, rats, kind of interchangeable in that regard.
Mice would make more sense for certain things because if you get like a rat that's already carrying disease and it's disgusting, you
can't just take like a wild rat.
You could do MRIs and stuff like that, but then some things would be like, well, we're testing a reaction to a certain type of medication or something.
Yeah.
But what was
but like the rat is filled with tapeworm or something. Yeah. Oh, that was nasty. The tapeworm stuff.
That was wild.
And like they were like describing tapeworm and how it could stay in you and you not even know it, and it's just sucking out your nutrients. It's in there in your like your bowel system.
Yeah.
It's wild. Just wild. So speaking about movies, I watched another one and I told you to watch it so we could talk about it.
Yeah.
Michael Moore had a new film came out this year. It was called Where to Invade Next.
Was that this? How recently did that
2016.
come out? Yeah.
That's what. Yeah, I looked it up on the Hulu title. It said it was 2016. Yeah, but this is Hulu, by the way. We're switching from Netflix to Hulu here.
Allegedly, he made that like Donald Trump.
Allegedly.
Fake news. And played it for a certain crowd in like New York.
Yeah, that like it was only like a certain like a screening of it or something like that. Yeah. But this one was different. So I thought when I saw the title "Where to Invade Next," I thought it was gonna be like this like anti-war, like we gotta stop like invading countries and stuff, which it kind of was, but it kind of flipped in like I'm Michael Moore and I'm going to invade other countries and steal their ideas in the name of America. Yeah. So he basically went to socialist Europe and was taking different ideas or concepts or laws from Europe, and it's like, I now declare this for America. We're going to steal this idea just like we steal, we've stolen everything. So, pretty interesting. He got, basically it was just Europe that he was in. And we basically hit on like the free college, free healthcare type stuff, employee rights like paid vacation, mandatory vacation and stuff. So I just kind of like came out on it and was like wondering, he painted a really great picture, but is that really true? Like he
did the same thing.
Would the stuff work?
But also
in America,
it's the same. Like you have to take everything with a grain of salt. You have to understand that for some of these countries, these ideas work, but they couldn't be implemented immediately and be expected to like easily adapt to our environment. And also, he took like maybe 6 ideas from 6 completely different places that only had like that one
6 specific areas.
He didn't weigh
countries.
The pros and cons, and it didn't span the whole country like you're saying. Like the first one, he went to Italy, and they were saying one of the dudes was a police officer, and his wife worked in like the fashion industry,
right?
And they were saying how in Italy they got 8 weeks paid vacation,
right? And like certain, like a lot of holidays and
a ton of holidays.
And they're like, talking about like how come Americans don't get that, like why can't we do that in America? Which I'm like, I don't know. Like, I guess I could work. I don't know. Like,
and then what they don't talk about is how most, or like not most, but a huge percentage of the businesses in America are small businesses,
right?
And that like you can't implement things like that.
That's what I thought.
And force small business owners to give their employees 8 weeks paid vacation,
right? That's what I was thinking about too. Like, how monopolized is Europe? I really don't know because I don't know anything about European culture, but I wonder how monopolized it is. Yeah. Like, it's kind of what America is becoming slowly. Like, I wonder how centralized like business is. Like, is it only like 2 big like manufacturers of whatever item? You know what I mean?
But that's what they were saying. The dude in the police department wasn't the only person that had those benefits. They went to a garment factory that produced a lot of like high end fashion, where a lot of people worked, and they had the same ideologies about that, where they would give, I don't know, something crazy. It was over 8 weeks paid vacation when it was all said and done.
But then like stuff like only a certain amount hours to work a day. Like no more than like 8 or 9 hours a day.
2 hour lunch.
2 hour lunch, yeah. And then like one country.
Lunch.
Really?
No.
Yeah, I've never had that. It's been like 30 minutes. That's like you have to, if you work over 6.5 hours in America, you have to have a 30-minute lunch.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Some of it's interesting. I think what I took away from the ideology of like treating your employees like they're not a piece of crap.
Yeah.
That was kind of like. Was spun or was presented and Michael Moore presented in his movie. That's an interesting concept, like that we should treat employees with more, I don't know, like respect and give them more just credence, I guess, like just more respect, more credence, and give them more rights, which is an interesting concept. But then also I feel like when that happens, you have to give up rights on the other end. You know what I mean? You kind of give up your rights and even liberties on the flip side. I don't know what you think about that concept.
Yeah, it's definitely a trade-off. Like
in theory, it works. Like in your head, like all this like socialism. Basically, I'm gonna call it what it is. It's socialism.
Yeah,
it works in your head, but it's like, is it applicable? Like, is it applicable, and does it work long term? And also too, I always hear about Europe's bankrupt, and the euro is like really. Has lost its value and currency.
There's a lot of things that play into that too, and of course, those are the things that didn't get talked about. That was pretty much it as far as like the Italy visit went. It was like they get a lot of vacation days, and that was it.
Yeah, that too, and then like the free college thing. Like anybody can go. What was that? I think it was was it Germany?
No, it was.
I mean, it's all like Euro to me. That's all I'm saying.
I can't remember what it was called.
I don't know, somewhere in Europe, but they basically get tuition free. Like, you can go to any college there and anybody can have, like, free tuition.
And they had a lot of American students transfer there.
Yeah.
And they said they had over, 100 courses?
Something like that.
In English?
Right, yeah. And to me, my thing, you picked out one school. Like, this is what Michael Moore is perfect in. He'll take one example and construct an entire argument from one specific example, and that's the same thing he did in the movie, the Bowling for Columbine movie.
Yeah.
Same thing he did there, but he's doing it here. I mean, it's really blatant, too. Like, that one college in this one country, and, you know, maybe it does have some good classes. I don't know. As a comparative, education or comparable to American, education? I don't know. Also, too, like, can you go to medical school in Europe?
Slovenia, that's where it was.
Slovenia?
Yeah.
Okay. But it's like, too, it's like, what kind of degrees can you get there? Is it just like, can you get a free liberal arts degree there, or can you go get like something actually usable? You know what I mean? Like, that's the stuff he didn't talk about. I didn't see. The college system here in America is freaking garbage. It's terrible.
Yeah.
But also, having free tuition and like it's paid by tax dollars isn't feasible either, especially in America with how many colleges there are across the country and different types of universities. It's just not feasible.
And the other thing that nobody addressed, he was asking them about debt and everything, but he didn't ask them about housing or where they lived or where they worked. Because, I mean, even if your tuition is free, you're not going to get room and board and meals every day for free. You're not going to go over there and it's going to be a fairy tale. You don't have to do anything.
Right.
These people still had to have jobs and houses. So I didn't understand where they were supposed to be staying or anything like that.
And the thing, too, is like the more stuff you get from the government, like, paid vacation, paid holiday, or free tuition, free healthcare, the less independence you have to make a choice. The less like your choices of like or diversity is taken away. There's no diversity with that. And I remember too, this guy. I think I talked to you a little bit about this last week. I don't know. You probably haven't seen it, but the debate between Ted Cruz and Bernie Sanders about healthcare.
I totally forgot about that.
I mean, it basically kind of plays the same thing because we all know who Bernie Sanders is.
Yeah.
And the free healthcare, and Europe can do it. And Ted Cruz, as much as I hate Ted Cruz, I'm the biggest Ted Cruz, poo-pooer in the world. I can't stand the guy, but he brought up some great points about just, the quality of European healthcare. Just, they have, and Canada, too, huge wait times. You can't get the care you need. The wait list for surgeries is super long, months, even years out in advance. So people, you might get the care for free, but you might not get it in time before you get worse or you're dead or something. At least in America, you have freedom of choice and the ability, and there's competition. Mm-hmm. So there's you have to have patient care and quality care. If you're a government subsidized, healthcare, you don't have to worry about any kind of stuff like quality or anything because it doesn't matter. There's nobody to compete with you. Mm-hmm. There is no competition. You're funded. Your doors are going to stay open no matter what because of the government. So that you don't have to, you don't have to worry about going above and beyond for the best possible care. You can just do bare minimum. So that's the thing too. We do have, to some degree, we have competition in healthcare in America, and we have to, places are fighting to keep their doors open and give the best possible care, and So there's that concept of it too when it comes to free healthcare and free college. The same thing. You gotta have colleges are competitive and offering courses and overall experience. They have to be competitive. But if you're again a college that's funded by the government, you don't really have to worry about that because you don't have any other competition. You're only beholden to the government for as far as financially. So
yeah,
that's another kind of point when it comes to socialism versus capitalism.
And this was just a stereotypical Michael Moore movie. It
made a lot of.
It was interesting to watch, and it wasn't boring. But it was I understand I'm not getting the whole story, and I'm only getting pieces that defend this person's opinion.
Yeah, that's what I was going to add. How much can we trust Michael Moore as far as this fair filmmaker?
This one wasn't
giving a fair perspective
as I don't know, controversial or something else he would make. He wasn't blatantly pushing one.
He wasn't going into Kmart headquarters and demanding they recall their bullets or something like that. Victims of Columbine. Good God. Have you seen the one where he goes to Nike headquarters and confronts Phil Knight?
No.
About whatever the shops in Taiwan or whatever they make shoes in. He was confronting Phil Knight about it.
Yeah.
It was pretty cringy.
I'll have to see that.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Phil Knight's just oh my God, dude, shut up. Get on my face. And Michael Moore, I kind of like him.
Yeah.
Because I feel like he's a good-hearted person. And he means well. and his methods are different. Like, I understand what he's trying to do when he does stuff like this and make a point, like a bold statement. But then I completely disagree with him on pretty much anything, like, as far as, like, solutions to problems.
Yeah.
Because he's a guy, his background, he's, like, from Flint, Michigan, was, like, I think he was, like, a factory worker, laid off, saw, a factory leave town, and, was kind of out, poor, like, jobless, and then he somehow made a career out of himself as a filmmaker. I don't know what his first film was. I don't think Bowling for Columbine was his first film. No. I think it was his first big film, the one that, like, got him famous. Because remember, too, that movie, too, Bowling for Columbine, he's the one he went and confronted the NRA, head of the NRA or whatever. But I remember, too, there was a really good, I watched that one. That was, like, last year. I watched Bowling for Columbine. But then also on Hulu, there was, like, another documentary a guy made, which was, like, a counter-argument. And he basically, what he did was just, like, tear down Michael Moore, all of Michael Moore's arguments. It showed how Michael Moore took things out of context.
Yeah.
And everything. And it was really, it was good. Like, he was on point. Like, he showed exactly step by step how Michael Moore constructed his argument, and how Michael Moore was able to misconstrue things or take things out of context to fit his argument. So, after seeing that film, anything I see from Michael Moore, I'm like, yeah, but...
That one was Michael Moore Hates America? Or is that the one he made?
But it was something like Michael Moore Hates America or something like that. I don't know.
And they were like...
That's just some independent filmmaker made it. It was fairly interesting.
He was like, I'm not saying he does, it's more of a question.
Yeah.
So with everything he's saying, he seems to hate everything about the country.
Yeah.
But he won't leave.
Right. Yeah, and he's the one like, I'm going to leave if Trump wins. It's like, have you left yet?
Please.
Go live in Europe if it's so good.
Yeah, for real.
But, like, that's the thing, like, that's what everybody complains about is, like, oh, man, Europe is so much better. Like, go live there.
Yeah.
Damn. Like, go to Canada. If it's so much better.
It's funny when you think of it like that, because you think of Michael Moore as the person who's like, yeah, if Trump wins, I'm leaving. But instead of doing that, he just makes a movie telling us about how great everybody else is.
And just, like, the whole, like, anti-America, like, America was founded on, like, stealing from everybody else and stealing, he kind of, like,
he's the person who has the means to do something like that.
Absolutely.
He could just leave.
Yeah, he could.
But he won't.
No. And, like, he's the one who, like, he, like, injected the whole, like, when he talks about Germany and how, like, they still are, like, cognizant of, like, the Holocaust and, like, how we need to be like that in America about slavery and the Indians. I'm like, just the whole, like, baited over our head, like, white guilt type thing, which I don't really vibe with. Like, you know what I mean? Like he was, like, saying, like, even though, like, in Germany they don't talk like, it wasn't our generation or anything like that did it, but, like, they don't talk like that like we do here. I'm like, but that's a valid point. I had nothing to do with anything that happened back then. You know what I mean? Like,
I think that the one thing I could relate to is that they actually teach about it, and I don't know. I don't want to compare slavery to the Holocaust and say which one is worse.
Right? No.
But we don't even teach really about our country's history truthfully in schools.
Right.
But we could do that, but like you said, we don't have to, like, I don't know.
Like,
you don't have to apologize to every person you see on the street for being American.
Especially, like, in, like, the reparations argument. Like, I can't. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
I can't get with that.
I don't want. Yeah, it's like I don't want to have this conversation.
I haven't heard a valid argument for it.
No, it's. I don't know.
Like, the only way we're gonna get past it is if we get past it. But if you keep, like, bashing it over everybody's head all the time and making, like, you should feel guilty for this, it's like, I don't know. Should I? I don't know. Maybe I should. Maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. I don't really know. That's kind of my...
Yeah, it's not like I don't agree with it, but should I have to feel sorry for being white?
Oh, yeah. Right.
In 2017?
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Like, does that make me, like... Is that, like, I can't, like, say certain things... Or I have to, like, exclude myself from certain conversations?
Not even that. It's opinions. Just like... There's some people who would really agree with me and say, yeah, you should feel bad for being white. Like, it's the people who would have the argument like, you can't hate somebody for the color of their skin or judge them by their class, but I have the right to say you should feel bad for being who you are.
That's
not funny. Even without even pushing my beliefs or saying anything. I should just feel bad for being
the
myself.
People, like, the first people that say, like, like, equality, everybody's the same, we're all equal, no matter race or religion. But they're the first ones to say that, like, white people shouldn't, like, say, like, should stay out. Like, who are you to say this? You're a white male, like,
Yeah.
You're, that video for that dude, like, you're a white male. It's like, that's kind of the attitude nowadays, especially like liberal circles, is like we're all equal except for white people. Like white guys are terrible.
They should just feel guilty.
Yeah, they should you haven't made up for it yet. Like all your years of whatever. I mean, I don't know. That's a tricky one.
I think these conversations kind of blend together in a different light, transitioning from Michael Moore into Chance the Rapper. Not in the same sense, but I don't know. I just really don't know if I can vibe with Chance the Rapper.
Really?
Like, I saw his Grammy performance.
Yeah.
And I was like...
Did you see a speech?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I saw a speech in the performance. But what's even funny is, like, for a second, he was about to go into... The song is called No Problems.
Yeah.
He was, like, about to go into it. And I was like, see, this is where you're gonna be exactly who I expect you to be.
Yeah.
Where it's like, what you say and what you do are completely different.
Right.
And I just don't... I don't know. Like, I haven't heard too much of his prior albums, but I know the story behind them, and I've seen interviews with him before.
Uh-huh.
But until this year, I never really heard him be so, like, spiritual.
He was kind of like... Yeah, he's kind of like almost underground, but not really. Just for the fact that he's not with a label, like everything's independent. But he finally like broke off on the radio, and then he did some of it too. I think it was his like pop this year was because he's been doing some like collabs with like Kanye and some different guys and been on their tracks. So it's kind of like brought him into the limelight a little bit, and so then this mixtape, bursted onto the scene. Which it's a good mixtape. It's a good album. I like it. It deserved to win. Well, I don't know if it deserved to win the Grammy or not for best rap.
Well, one thing I saw too, somebody was going over the awards. They had best album, I know, or something like that. Adele won one of them.
Over
then
Beyonce.
it was like best single, and then best record. I was like, what's the difference between record and album? Record and song? Well, record, they usually refer to record as like a single or something like that, and an album as a CD or an album.
Right.
But that
so what's the difference between a record and song?
I don't know.
Okay.
That's what I tried to.
Is it like a record, like a released single, or an I don't know.
I'm not sure. I know there was a ton of categories.
Who cares? Because the Grammys is retarded.
Yeah, and like I didn't really.
Freaking hate the Grammys.
I didn't listen. Award shows are garbage. I didn't listen to too much of Chance's album.
Yeah.
But I listened to it enough to be like, yeah, it's good. And then I saw what it was up against, as far as nominations, and everything else was garbage.
Pablo probably should have edged it out, but I obviously the Grammys weren't going to give it to Kanye since he boycotted the Grammys.
Yeah.
And it's had his meltdowns.
Yeah.
But as far as like we were kind of talking about this in the week, like the spiritual aspect of Chance's music.
Yeah.
Like how deep is it? Does it mean anything? Like, is he an example of like?
Is it valid?
Is he a spiritual example?
And I think the only
a good or a bad one, I guess.
And I see a lot of people who I know who are Christians vibing with them.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to listen to all Christian music all the time.
No, yeah, absolutely.
But at the same point, it's like I kind
of hate Christian music, to be honest.
Yeah, but I don't want to see people use him as an example. Like, oh, Chance is a Christian, so his music is like everything he says is cool. And it's like I don't know if I want.
Yeah, right.
If I'm comfortable with him representing my beliefs,
right,
and
that's like public,
that's basically what it comes down to. That's the only issue I would have. Would be like, is this the person that I want to be representing me?
And but as far as being in the rap game and being like he is, though. You know what I mean? Like, he's different from everybody else in the rap game, kind of.
He is different, but still...
Like, nobody really talks about the stuff. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm wrong.
It's going to have to come down to how he lives now. Starting now. What comes out now.
He hasn't really done anything, though. I mean, you could look at his lyrics and whatever, and, like, maybe, like, judge him, like... And one track you're, like, singing, like, How Great Thou Art.
Yeah.
And then the next track you're talking about, like, get on the dance floor, ho, and shake it. That's the next track after that track.
Yeah.
Which I can see that, like, the issue with that. But as far as, like, living his life, I really haven't heard anything from him. Like,
and of course, I'm not going to put a microscope to his whole life and judge him on who he is. But it's like I don't want to see people
like he doesn't seem like the
falling to that
trap guy. He's not Migos or a little Uzi or whatever. That Bad and Bougie song.
I don't know.
That's a good song. You like that song?
I can't say I've actually heard it.
Oh my god!
I've heard like part of it, like the intro. And I was
How do you feel about trap rap? This is just like totally sidetrack.
It depends.
Because I consider you a hip hop aficionado more so than me. I'm a commoner.
Yeah.
You're an aficionado. How do you feel about the trap rap? Kind of pop. That's kind of the big thing now. Is trap rap.
Yeah, because hip hop is definitely taking over the mainstream. Like seeing country music fall.
Yeah,
country music done now. Nobody cares. Like the popular music is it's shifted to hip hop, which is crazy. For sure. Yeah, I don't know if it's been like this mainstream before, and it's hard to be like Gucci Mane is mainstream.
Yeah, Gucci Mane, Migos, like this trap rap that was like nobody would listen to like 10 years ago.
I had this conversation
10 years ago
with Ryan. He asked me, he's like, "What do you think about Lil Yachty?" And I was like, personally, I don't know. I don't really get down with it. It's not my favorite thing in the world. I think he's him, Kodak Black, and Lil Uzi are just memes.
Yeah, and Fetty Wap.
I'm not gonna say it's not hip hop, and I'm not gonna tell somebody they're wrong for liking it.
It's not hip hop. It's bad hip hop.
It's and I'll say that too. But if that's like my subjective opinion,
right? Yeah.
At the same time, that's like the new sound, like you're saying, trap rap.
It is.
That's part of the new sound, and like Lil Yachty and
it's just like
Lil
my
Uzi are
brother,
different.
Like 15, and he listens to Lil Yachty and Lil Uzi and Fetty Wap, and like that's the sound of this generation.
That's the mainstream.
Like our
music.
sound was like, I guess like if we want to go way back,
Lil Wayne,
Eminem, 50 Cent, with kind of like our generation sound. Yeah. And then it kind of blended into, like, now, like, you got the J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar. It kind of blends into that because they're kind of that guard.
Yeah.
But they don't have anything to do. We got, like, a whole other section of hip-hop over here with, like, Migos and Lil Yachty and
the new thing.
And Gucci.
But I was thinking about that.
How did Gucci not win the Grammy?
I don't know.
That's why the Grammys is trash, because Gucci honestly should have won the Grammy.
And
for Best Hip-Hop Album.
I was looking at his tweets earlier, before The Return of East Atlanta Santa came out. He was like, "Why is it not nominated for a Grammy?"
Yeah,
and they're like, "You have to release the album first." And he was like pissed, going off on a rant.
What was that? Chance said in one of it on the Kanye track. He said, "Talk about like I guess I've heard you got to sell it to snatch the Grammy." So
yeah,
I like Chance. I don't have a problem with him. I like him. I think he's different. He's unique. He's right. He's talking about things that are not really like big to talk about in the hip hop circle.
Mm-hmm.
When you get like any kind of like God reference, people are just kind of like, it's not really like a hip hop thing, but he's making it work. And he's got like that gospel kind of music, especially in this last album. He got like a fusion of like gospel music in there, which was really interesting. Yeah. So I like it. I like his music. I think it is on a certain level very superficial, just like kind of like J. Cole's music is.
Yeah,
it's very superficial on a level, but yet considering the landscape of things, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
considering the landscape.
I'm like, not that I do this with any other artist. I'm just not gonna take the views that he seems to portray to like validate his music and make it seem like it's better to listen to Chance because he's a Christian.
Right.
And he's never even said anything. I don't think he's said anything like that before.
No.
Has he? I've never.
Yeah, I don't want to start seeing that like, oh my God, he loves, can we get a like and a share for Chance the Rapper who, gives glory to God or something like that? Like a Facebook post or something. I don't want to start seeing that. I'm like, no.
Because even Miley Cyrus thanked God when she got was it Country Music Award when she was Hannah Montana.
Yeah, God.
I was like,
everybody thanks God. I mean, pretty much everybody thanks God when they go up there. So, but I think his is more genuine because it is in his music. You know what I mean? It's not. It is.
And from what I know, he is kind of going through a turning point in his life.
Yeah,
he's going.
It has an influence. I'll say that.
Yeah,
which is a good start. Yeah, it's better than nothing.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't. Yeah, he's not like a Christian rapper, which. I don't even want to get into that. What Christian rappers? That's kind of whack to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Christian music in general. Here's my thing with Christian music. Like there are good Christian music songs out there, but like the whole like landscape of it as a whole, it's just it's lazy.
Yeah,
it's
pretty
much.
It's like formulaic.
It's formulaic.
They can grab any art, like any.
It's not original.
Any like girl who can sing really well, grab a band and just write song. It's the same thing as mainstream pop music.
Yeah, basically, it operates the same way. Yeah,
but there are artists who are Christians who they don't make like necessarily worship music.
You're not going to see their CD in a Christian bookstore or something like that.
But it's still like, dude, this is crazy good.
Yeah. Like, like you got, the bands there are, and the bands and singers, like, the church, group is going to go see this band play, or this is the, CDs in the Christian bookstore. Yeah. It's all cookie cutter. It's all formulaic. And they operate just like pop music operates. They're trying to sell albums. Especially, they have to change their outward appearance to sell albums. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's like a sex component to it as well. You're trying to sexify it up a little bit. You know what I mean? It's just it's weird. It doesn't feel right
awkward.
To me.
It's awkward.
And there's, not to say, like, even those artists that I don't like, they make good songs, but but then they like all like use the same song too. Like, you'll see like the like same song on like 7 different artists' albums in the Christian music circle. So it's I don't know. It bugs me.
You're not gonna see Lecrae on the Grammys for best hip hop album or record or song.
And see, like, the thing with him, like, he's not bad, but I don't think he's super good, but he only gets like a pop because he is Christian. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, would you care who he was if he doesn't?
Like, I've listened to his
albums. He wasn't the quote unquote Christian rapper.
He's not technically or lyrically that good.
No, he's not good.
With the I don't know what he's like with what producers. I heard he worked with Static Selecta, who's a killer producer, but he only did like a couple songs. I don't know.
I mean, like, we wouldn't know his name. We wouldn't know his name if it wasn't the fact he was a Christian rapper. You know what I mean? Like,
we wouldn't know his name if it weren't for people telling us to listen to Lecrae instead of whatever's we want to listen to.
Yeah, exactly. And that's like the thing too that bugs me. It's like these guys find their niche. Like, Lecrae darn well knows he couldn't like make it in the real hip hop game.
Yeah,
like he couldn't compete with those guys. He wouldn't be relevant because he didn't have the skill. But you take a step down into the Christian music realm, you can still sell albums, and you could dominate in that because it's the talent, the just talent and skill is probably not there. But you can still make a lot of money. I'm sure he makes a lot of money.
I don't even know if there's any other like prominent Christian rapper.
Yeah, exactly. He probably makes more money than a lot of like mainstream rappers.
Yeah.
Or secular rappers, I'm sure, with album sales at least.
Probably if you take away drug sales, like and just put it towards music, he
probably makes he's probably up there with some of them.
He's hanging,
but it's because of his his niche market that he's it's all marketing and stuff. But people, I have this conversation with people and they get like so up in arms and offended. I'm like, I don't really listen to Christian music. Like in situations I do, but overall no. Like it's pretty much garbage to me. It has nothing to do with like
there's certain like you're saying
the fact that it's Christian music. It's just it's done poorly.
You know what you're going to listen to, like as far as Sunday morning worship music, like Hillsong United and stuff like that. They make the songs that you're going to listen to on Sunday morning.
Yeah,
you're like, this is a good song.
Yeah,
but if you're like in your car, you're not. I'm not the type of person to listen to stuff like that, or like, well, look at this new band on K-Love that they're playing. Be like,
did you hear that new single from Third Day?
Yeah.
Which I don't hate Third Day.
Third Day had one killer CD.
It did. Yeah, what was that? Well, like
it was blue. I just remember the front of it.
I was thinking of a different album. There was another album. Like I like Mercy Me too. I like Mercy.
There's
Mercy's a good band.
Do you remember? Did you ever listen to Building 429?
No.
Or did Jeremy Camp?
Oh God, yeah.
Jeremy Camp was alright, but he was one of the stereotypical dude with the guitars.
Yeah. Like I'm trying to be John Mayer, but I want to keep it clean.
And at the time, it was pretty much borderline. Country music and Christian music were almost the same.
Yeah.
In like the early 2000s, they were so close. Some of the artists.
Now they're trying to do like the kind of like rock.
David Crowder band's getting weird. They're always weird.
I don't know. What was that one band that kids liked in middle school? They were like a heavy metal band.
Skillet?
Yes.
They weren't even that heavy though.
I don't know, but like that's what people were like into when I was in high school. I'm like, what? This is garbage. Why are you listening to this?
Style, and it was like, my mom lets me listen to rock music.
I'm like, I don't care like what the content of this music is. It's garbage. I could care less if they're talking about God or Satan. It's garbage music. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're only listening to it because of the content. You're not actually like looking at it from an objective, like, is it good music?
It gets even worse when you play like an instrument and you listen to it and you're like, this dude is really sloppy. And it's like, not only is the instrumentation boring and off, the song just sucks.
And two, it's like, some of it, I have a question too, like some, even specifically that band, the Skillet, like, is it Christian music or is it rated G music? There's a difference.
It's more rated G
There's
music.
A difference.
It's more, you're right.
It inspired by God, or is it rated G music?
Because you listen, like, Creed.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
People
Switchfoot.
People hate Creed because the dude was such a wild person, had like a terrible reputation, but claimed to be a Christian for a while. But you put that aside, and the music is just, it's like bad rated G music.
Very bad. Yeah. Yeah. There's a difference between rated G music and Christian music, and people get that twisted. Like, you know, they're calling Christian music rated G, or rated G music Christian music, and it's just. Like, this is not inspired. Like, this is not, like, I don't feel like there's an inspiration to this music. I feel like it's driven for record sales so you can sell it to the middle schoolers at the church retreat, you know, at your CD table, you know. What, have you seen the South Park episode that does the Christian music?
Yeah.
That's the perfect summarization of Christian music.
Where his album sales, he goes, like, myrrh.
Yeah. I went myrrh. That went double myrrh.
Yeah. Because he wanted to, well, I don't know why.
But he's like, pretty much just like, replace any secular song, replace the word baby or love with Jesus and God, and you have your Christian song.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus, I need you now.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. It's such a good, I mean, it's such a smart, well-written episode.
Speaking of which, let's go into the best hip-hop album of 2016.
Ooh. Yeah, I think I wrote some down. I looked it up. I Googled it. Yeah, that's pretty much the highlight. I just Googled, you could, if you wanted to pull it up, like, hip-hop albums 2016, but these were the highlights and the lowlights, too. Nothing else seemed relevant to me. I'll read a couple off. You have, early on in 2016, we had The Life of Pablo, Kanye.
That was very early, yeah.
That was like New Year's. I almost thought that was 2015, but I guess it counts as 2016. I think it was in January or something.
I looked it up today just to make sure, but it was 2016.
Yeah. You got Chance, Coloring Book. You got For Your Eyes Only, J. Cole.
Ooh,
snuck it in right before 2016 ended, too.
Ooh.
You got Views, Drake.
We can just scratch that.
Yeah. Sherm Life, right? Sherm Life. Can we name a song? Did they do Black Beatles?
They did, and it makes me so mad because Joey Badass had a song called Black Beatles.
It didn't matter, though.
And it was so good. Like, that Joey Badass's album was so good, but it didn't matter because that was the year that To Pimp a Butterfly came out.
Oh, yeah.
So it was like
overshadowed.
The greatest album of our generation came out when
basically said everything else is irrelevant.
Yeah.
We got Everybody Looking by Gucci.
We also have what was the other one? East Atlanta Santa came out, but
this was the big one though for Gucci. Everybody Looking was like, at least, I mean, that's the one I listened to.
Yeah, that was the big one.
That was the big one.
That was the one that actually Woptober came out. But I think that was a free download.
Who's that?
That was Gucci Mane.
Oh, okay.
But it was more like, you could tell that it was songs that just he wanted to push out. That's why it was free.
This was a good outlet. Everybody Looking was like the legitimate Gucci album.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you had It's Law, I think it's how to say it, by Kevin Gates.
I saw that. I couldn't name an album. Did he?
Two Phones?
That single came out so long ago, though. Did he put that on that album?
Yeah, it was on that album.
Wow.
I got 2 phones.
I
like that song.
That was like 2015. That single had to come out in 2015.
But it's on this album that came out in 2016.
I just want to see the...
I don't know. I mean, he's okay, Kevin Gates. He's kind of part of that. I feel I kind of consider him that new era rap, like with the Fetty Wap and the...
Yeah.
Was Fetty Wap 2016? Or is that 2015? I think that's 2015.
Two Phones was released as a single November 5th. 2015.
Google Fetty Wap when his album came out.
What album was it?
I have no idea.
The Fetty Wap? Fetty
Wap.
What about the Fetty Wap?
The Fetty Wap. The 1738? Is that the album?
I
have no idea. I think he only has one album.
He's got 3.
Oh, was it? No, it's 2015.
Zouvier?
No, this one.
Fetty Wap?
Yeah, Fetty Wap. I guess it was self-titled.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, never mind.
Studio album Trap.
I was about to say, if that got out in 2016, we have a different conversation here.
Zouvier, he released a new album. Well, I heard about this album. It was garbage.
I don't know. I mean, it all sounds the same to me. Every single track of his sounds the same. So yeah, going back to this list, Life of Pablo. We'll cut down to the ones that actually are real that count. Life of Pablo, Coloring Book, For Your Eyes Only, and Views. Basically, are your 4 to choose from. Or everybody. I'll put Everybody Looking by Gucci in there too.
To be honest, out of all of those, the one I'm going to choose isn't even listed here. Oh. Because if I'm going to go from albums that released this year that I actually liked, there's an album from A$AP Rock called The Impossible Kid.
Okay.
That I can listen to it all the way through. I like every song on it. I listened to it today, a little bit of it. Everything else, like Everybody Looking, is fun. It's like a fun album to be like, he's so wild. Or you like listen to it in my car with the subwoofer and it's funny.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's like really, it's not something I really take seriously. Views was like,
weak.
For Your Eyes Only was watered down. Coloring Book, I didn't really listen to it enough to say that I like it a lot.
I'm gonna go. I want to say For Your Eyes Only, just because I'm J. Cole stan, but and also it was a really good. It was a really good
attempt.
Yeah, it was a good attempt. And it was different for J. Cole,
and it was J. Cole.
Yeah,
he actually came out with an album.
So it was good, but yeah, it doesn't. It's not the type of album I can listen to all the way through all the time. Life of Pablo was that album for me.
Yeah.
In 2016, I could listen to it from start to finish, except for like Silver Surfer intermission. I had to skip that, but everything else and Low Lights, that was a bad track. Every other track on Kanye on the Life of Pablo was a banger to me.
I will take that.
And that's the song I could play. If I'm going by album, I could just listen to all the way through. It's the Life of Pablo. Coloring Book would probably be my number 2, and For Your Eyes would be number 3.
Yeah.
But I want to say For Your Eyes because it was just more. It was different. It was a better piece of work, I think. Maybe. I don't know.
I haven't listened to...
A better conception.
I haven't listened to For Your Eyes Only in probably 3 months.
Oh, that's...
I haven't played a song.
Blasphemous.
There was one day where I was like just listening to Immortal like 2 or 3 times. But then, I don't know.
It kind of puts me to like, I don't know, like I kind of lose interest in the album after a few songs. Like there's not enough to keep me interested. But it's good. It's good though. But it's not the best. It's not very. Pablo's the best. And then what did you say again? A$AP Rock.
A$AP Rock, The Impossible Kid.
Okay.
That's what I liked. It's different.
I should give it a listen. I might do that.
It's definitely different. And he's like, I don't know. He speaks in riddles more. Like you're not gonna listen to it and be like, oh, that was a bar. It'll happen sometimes, but it'll more be like, that's a weird analogy to use. And the dude is like, he's like a weird mental case. He's got like history of depression and everything. But he's on that independent label with a couple dudes. Atmosphere from Minnesota, I think, helped start the label with him.
Okay.
Or they kind of collaborated. It's called Rhymesayers. They got another dude. I don't know. He's weird, and he's like reminds me of Slim Shady. Some of his songs.
Oh, really?
And it's pretty dope.
I'll give it a listen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm looking for something different, something new. So what we got? We got that. Let's just jump right into it. Let's go to NBA. We're at All-Star break. I just figured that out today because I checked my fantasy lineup and saw none of my players were on today, and I freaked out. I'm like, it's the All-Star break. Duh, of course. So, you have some topics you want to get into here that you brought up to me that you thought were interesting this week at the NBA.
Yeah, I was just like stunned. I don't know if I can't remember if I got an ESPN notification or something on Twitter happened, but I just saw randomly the Raptors traded away Terrence Ross. And I was like, what?
For Serge
Ibaka. And I thought it was like, oh, there's talks of the trade. I clicked on it and it was like, no, he's already gone.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's a bold move.
Really?
I mean, Terrence Ross has been working with the Raptors for so long, but
he's a guard, right?
He's a forward.
Okay.
But they traded him for Serge Ibaka. That's what I don't really get.
I mean, Ibaka's not terrible. That's not a terrible deal. I feel like it's peanuts for peanuts.
Kind of.
It was like a peanuts trade. Like, let's just move some pieces around just to say we tried.
And probably it was because Terrence Ross had been with the Raptors for so long, he was probably like, well, I'm a piece of this. I want the stake in it. And they're like, nah, we'll just take Serge Ibaka for less money.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't know how that's going to work out.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Their film mesh. Like Terrence Ross wasn't a prime piece of the Raptors, but now I just don't know.
And I think then the Raptors had to avoid a big man because they lost Bismack Biyombo to the Magic.
Yeah.
So I mean they kind of fill a void there, but then you lose a void. I don't know. So, like, do you think that makes them a contender at all in the East?
I don't think it makes them any more of a threat. It's going to suck right now trying to work with a new guy, replacing somebody who's been with you for so long, and working with a new guy at All-Star break. Like, it's happened right before All-Star break.
Especially, like, starters like that, when you start moving starters.
If they're going to make a run for the playoffs, I don't know how well it's going to work.
Yeah, I feel like it probably doesn't make them any better, but it doesn't make them any worse.
Yeah.
They're probably right where they are, I don't know.
They still need that piece that's going to make them better.
Yeah, Ibaka's not that guy.
Ibaka's not the piece that's going to make them win a ring.
Yeah. He's just a guy that, like, screwed the Oklahoma City Thunder royally.
Yeah.
Because they decided that Serge Ibaka was better than James Harden.
And then they got rid of him after a year.
Yeah. How do you not get fired for making that one decision that you think...
That was the...
I think Serge Ibaka is better than James Harden. Like, that's what the GM said, and they made that move. Like, how do you not get, like, just fired for that?
How did they think... And how did they hear that sentence... and act like it made sense?
Yeah, that makes good point.
Good point. No, who said
sense. That? Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Ibaka over Harden. Yeah,
that was the worst possible trade.
Could you imagine Harden? Yeah, if Harden was still there in Oklahoma City, the amount of title. I mean, would Miami have ever won a title?
Now they lost Durant.
Yeah, right, and that's the reason Durant lost. Durant would still be there if Harden was there.
And he that's what he realized. The OKC was at the point where they're like, we're really good, but we need another piece. And they're like, oh yeah, you remember that dude we used to have?
Yeah.
You see everything he's doing in Houston?
His team's better than ours right now.
Yeah.
After Durant left, they're better. But NBA stands will tell me that, like, no way Westbrook, Harden, and Durant would have been able to coexist. I'm like, they would have figured it out.
They would have won a ring.
Yeah, you would figure it out.
After they win a championship and realize that they need each other.
The three best scorers in the NBA, quite possibly, on the same team.
For real. Like, if that's what makes it worse now, you're like... These are three ridiculously good people. 3 All-Stars.
Yeah.
James Harden is an All-Star.
I mean, this legit could be the 3 best scorers in the NBA. And if you look at it.
People will defend that and be like, James Harden just isn't that good. You can't say that.
No.
You can't say that.
Yeah, he didn't play defense. I'm like, who cares?
And people, that's what they say. And he doesn't really play defense in Houston.
Yeah, but who
does?
Because
he plays all the offense.
Yeah.
He plays all the offense.
That's the thing that pisses me off. I'm like, he didn't play defense. It's like, it's the NBA. Who plays defense?
Yeah.
Who actually, what superstar actually plays defense? I would say maybe LeBron James is the only one.
Yeah.
Like, out of, the elite stars. Like,
he'll run you down and swat your shot.
Durant's not a defender. Curry's not a defender. Westbrook's not a defender. Harden's not a defender. Melo's not a defender.
Kobe wasn't.
Kobe, no.
Really. Unless he had a matchup.
Yeah, there would be certain guys he would like to match it, but not. Yeah. He wasn't known for it. He wasn't a defensive glove.
He's not going to shut out everybody that he's guarding.
So
if he played against LeBron, they would go at each other. But that's pretty much
I feel like James Harden makes up more than enough for his lack of defense.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like literally all the offense in Houston.
Sad to be a Thunder fan.
Just sad.
Look at the feet. I'd be so depressed as a Thunder fan
because they came.
That has to be the saddest franchise now.
Yeah, they came from Seattle.
Came from nothing.
Which was like garbage. And,
yeah.
I mean, the only thing worse than that was the Bobcats. But they don't exist anymore.
Yeah,
Charlotte's.
I would say the Knicks are a sadder franchise, but the Knicks, when you're that close, like the Thunder were, to ultimate success, and you had so many chances at it, but yet could never get there, and now you're so far away, and you're going to lose Westbrook.
That's what makes them sad, is because when they came from Seattle, they weren't good.
Yeah,
then
they built it from the ground up.
They became a new franchise. And when it's crazy to see a new franchise play well. Then they had 3 All-Stars for so long.
They built it from the ground up with the draft,
and then lost everything.
Yeah,
now they're going to do nothing.
They remind me so much of the Magic of the '90s with Shaq and Penny.
Yeah,
legit. That's kind of the way they came up, and it's the way they fell because somebody wanted a title and somebody couldn't play with somebody else. Shaq couldn't play with Penny. Shaq wanted the title. Shaq wanted the big market.
Yeah.
Same thing with Durant. Durant wants the title. Couldn't play with Westbrook. Needs the ring. So he pulled a Shaq.
And when OKC loses Westbrook, he may stay there. He may leave.
I think he's gone.
They're not going to get anything good.
No.
OKC's
they're done.
They're not going to be anywhere near.
They don't have the pieces to make a move, and nobody's going to come there in free agency. I don't think.
It's sad watching that team.
Sad.
But again, the same thing in Golden State. The way they came up, it's like they came up.
Yeah, they did it the same way.
They came up the same way as OKC, except they were they were better.
Mark Jackson built the house, and then Steve Kerr just pretty much moved in and won a couple rings.
Yeah,
pretty much. Poor Mark Jackson. I feel bad for that guy too.
I put in the notes.
He built that dynasty.
I put in the notes the game that I wanted to talk about.
Oh yeah.
The Nuggets at Warriors.
Nuggets at Warriors.
Or no, it was Warriors at Nuggets.
Warriors at Nuggets.
Oh, I watched the highlights of that game, and it was so bad.
Really?
So bad. What did they? I think they lost by 20 or so.
This is the one where they tied the 3-point record or something.
They tied the 3-point record. It was 110 to 132, so they lost by 22. Crap. And the biggest lead was 28.
132.
It was.
Who did the Nuggets have that could score that much?
I'll pull up the box score because I was looking at the stats, and it was
like
wild.
Kenneth Faried go off or something.
I don't even think they have him.
Really?
I don't know.
I don't even know who plays on the. Damn, I can't even name anybody from the Nuggets.
Game. But basically, what happened is Golden State had one of the nights where they have in the finals usually, where everybody craps the bed and nobody shows up.
Yeah.
Klay Thompson didn't play. Steph Curry went 1 for 11 from the 3-point line. And
classic.
I'll post some more of the stats. This was I think it was on the NBA website. They had the box score.
So this is the game you're going to point to me when if the Warriors lose in the finals, you're going to go back. I told you when they lost to the Nuggets.
I mean, this is just
by 20.
This isn't. I don't know. This isn't going to be the sign of the times, but this is going to be like. This is what happens when they have bad.
Yeah, it's an it's unusual.
Steph Curry only had 26 points.
Oh, that's it.
One for 11 from the 3-point line.
Yeah,
four for 18 from the field.
At what point you're having a shooting night like that, do you just say, I'm going to stop shooting?
26 minutes, 11 points.
But you said, Thompson was out this game too, so that makes sense that he would have that many shot attempts.
Kevin Durant led the team at 25 points. He went 10 for 16, 2 for 5 from the 3-point line. But Denver's team, Will Barton, 24 points.
That?
He went 4 for 8 from the 3-point line.
Who are these people? I've never heard of them.
Juan Hernangomez.
Oh, yeah, true.
27 points.
What a baller.
6 for 9.
Oh, there's Jameer Nelson. I remember him.
Jameer Nelson.
That's all I remember.
4 for 7.
Yo, Mike Miller still plays?
Mike Miller went 2 for 2 from the 3-point line.
No kidding.
I still remember watching him hit that 3.
I can't believe he's still in the league.
With one shoe when he played for the Heat. You
yeah. Dang, I can't. That Nuggets roster is whack.
It was.
Can't name anybody.
It was wild.
And NBA stans will say, the Nuggets are a good young team. Shut up. The Nuggets nobody knows who the Nuggets
are. Garbage.
Nobody knows who's on the Nuggets. Shut up.
Biggest lead was 28 points. Longest run 10. Lead change is 5. That must have been early.
Where are the Nuggets ranked in the West? What's their record?
Garbage.
Yeah, makes sense.
Garbage.
Huh. Yeah, just an off night.
Yeah, pretty much. But that's what happens.
But that's a really bad off night too.
Yeah.
That's that's beyond an off night.
And that's why they don't have just off night. They have nights where they're
tremendously off. Yeah.
And they have nights when they're tremendously off.
Tremendous.
Yeah, huge.
It's huge. Huge, tremendous. What a huge loss. Huge. Sad.
Yeah, the Nuggets are 8th in the Western Conference.
Well, that's not terrible.
25 and 31.
Yeah, NBA stands would be like, but they're a young team. They're on the run rise. It's not even surprising. Shut up.
That's what puts
name 5 players off the Nuggets.
The Warriors, they're now 47 and 9. They're at 9 losses, but they've got a lot of games to go. They're not keeping up that record. They're not going.
Oh yeah, they're going to be the one in the West.
They'll be the one, but they're not going to.
I don't think the Spurs, because the Spurs, they tank. They folded in the last couple months of the season and start resting everybody.
And then they come strong in the playoffs, though.
Maybe the the Clippers could catch. I don't see the Rockets doing that.
The Rockets.
Holy crap, the Jazz are 5?
Yeah.
What?
Lakers are 14.
I need to keep. Wow. The Lakers, remember how early in the season the Lakers were in 7 or something like that?
They were.
Now they just fallen off. Oh, man.
It's looking rough.
Trailblazers, man, 10th ranked. I thought they'd be at least in the playoffs. Grizzlies are decent. Grizzlies are always strong.
Yeah.
Of course, the Clippers. Yeah.
It's pretty much.
I want to see the one. I want to see the 1 be the Warriors and the 8 be the Thunder. That'd be good. That'd be a good first round playoff match.
The Spurs are coming strong. I still think...
Yeah, but they always rest at the end of the year.
They do.
Unless they decide to play for the one.
In the playoffs. I don't know how much...
They never do that, though. They never play for the one spell. They don't care.
Popovich is such a good
Popovich rather rest his players for like the last 2 or 3 weeks of the season and then get whatever seeding and just blow whoever else you know.
They don't care about like a bye. They want.
No, yeah, they
want
care.
Play.
No, well, they don't care who they met. They just
They want to keep everybody rested, but then they want to go into the playoffs playing basketball as much as they can.
Yeah,
to keep everybody on their game because that's what you need. Like that's why teams come so strong in baseball coming into the playoffs because they pretty much play every day. They'll play 3-day series in the weekends, have maybe a day off, come play a home game.
Right. Yeah, you got that like momentum.
Yeah, they just keep it up. They just keep playing. The Cavaliers are still the 1 seed.
No, of course. They've been struggling.
It's funny, the second seed in both conferences is 4 games behind.
God, the Hawks are ranked that high? 5?
Hawks.
God. Freaking, what a boring team.
Wizards and Raptors right there, 3 and 4.
Man, the Heat might have fallen. No, my Knicks are at 12. We still got a chance. We're still alive. We're still in it.
You're going to have to make a run. It's going to be a run.
Oh, yeah. I mean, how many games are we back?
We're like 16?
No, from the 8th spot.
Oh, from the 8th spot?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get to... no, I don't... No, we're not getting to 1 spot. We're just trying to get to the... We're just trying to get 8. Yeah, we're still in it.
4 games behind.
We're in the playoff hunt. Why are we freaking out? The Knicks are right there in the playoff hunt. We're right in the middle of it. We're right in the thick of it. We're playing for postseason right now.
Playing for postseason.
We're either going to make the postseason or we're going to be the lotto pick. Either way. Either way works for me.
Just give up?
Yeah. No, don't. Yeah, well, that'd be... Phil Jackson would do that. Phil Jackson would tank. We're right here in the hunt, Phil. Don't give up, Phil. We could beat the Cavs in the first round.
Look at the Raptors at that number 4 seed, though. They're going to stay there. Making trades with the 14 seed.
I don't know. That deal couldn't help them move up. It depends. It'll be interesting to see if that deal helps them pop up maybe to like 2, or if they drop down to like.
I mean, 7. I'm not making any claims that these teams are going to win championships or be serious.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
But the Wizards and the Spurs are going to make some playoff pushes, and they're going to be tough first round teams.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. They'll make it for good Western Conference Finals opponents.
Yeah,
it'll make for an interesting series, unlike we've had in the East.
Because it's not going to be Golden State and
we haven't had an interesting Eastern Conference Finals in a long time.
Yeah, it's been like the only strong team was the Heat for a while.
Yeah, well, I mean, like as far as like challenging the Heat, it was like maybe the Pacers that one year. It was like kind of interesting, but that wasn't even that good.
What do they have? Paul George,
basically,
who's fading.
He's all right. Nah. Did you see his shoe that he's got from Nike? His signature?
No.
It's alright.
Yeah?
It's kind of like a crappy Kyrie one.
PG-13.
Yeah, PG-13. No, I don't know. I mean, they're alright. I haven't seen him in a while, but I saw him. That was a few months ago. They announced he was getting his own. Which I'm like, really? Paul George with a signature? I'm like, I don't know about all that.
Paul George. Oh, there's the Hyperdunks. All-Star?
No, it's not those. No, it's not those either.
Paul George returns to the All-Star game.
I don't know what those are. I think
those are. What am I on All-Star shoes? I don't know.
Speaking of that, there's no good All-Star shoes this go around.
Yeah, I haven't even seen anything.
Yeah,
is it this?
Yeah, that's it.
PG-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks like it's
kind of ugly.
It's just a Nike sock with a strap.
It's pretty generic.
He should have just played in Hyperdunks and not worried about a signature shoe.
Yeah, it looks like $100 shoe to me.
Yeah, it looks like a discount.
Looks like a Ross. Looks like a Ross.
Looks like a Ross fine. You're going to see those.
Looks like a Ross rack.
A size 17.
Yeah.
The James Harden shoe is interesting.
Yeah, I like the James Harden shoe from Adidas.
The first colorway
is... The Dame Lillard ones I still love.
The first colorway was called "I'ma Be a Star."
Yeah.
That was
I still love the Dame Lillard shoes. Those are dope.
Yeah. Adidas is killing it with this signature.
Remember that pickup we got? They did that tent sale at the fairgrounds. I got like a pair of the $30 D Lillards, the purple suede.
Purple, yeah.
Yeah, that was dope. I love those shoes. So, Melo's an all-star.
Yeah.
So do you think it counts? Is he actually an all-star even though he's like an alternative because of Kevin Love being
injured? They better start making all-star shoes. He's an all-star.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Doesn't matter how you get to the game.
Exactly, you're there.
Yeah.
I was saying, like, how's it an all-star game without Melo? You're gonna have like Chris Paul, LeBron, D Wade, and all of them there. It's not an All-Star game if you don't have Melo there. You can't have All-Star weekend without Melo.
Yeah,
it's just that's stupid.
I don't know what they've been thinking, like how their voting's been going on who they let in. But
it's fan vote. It's 100% fan vote.
Melo needs to be an All-Star game. Yeah.
Yeah, it's up to commoners.
If we're gonna
peasants,
unless we need to just like start an uproar and revolt and push Ricky Rubio to the All-Star game.
Hashtag not my All-Star game.
Not my All-Star game. We need to do that. Like, we need to gain some traction, get some influence, and get a bunch of people to vote for, like...
How's Barstool Sports not been on that hashtag not my All-Star game?
I don't know. Like, get Tyler Hansbrough to the All-Star game.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what happened with Zaza Pachulia. It was like, and like, leading All-Star voting. It's like, how? Because, like, you know, idiots are voting. Same thing with, like, Jeremy Lin made it a couple years ago.
Because he made that shot for the Knicks. Right?
Yeah.
He's so good.
Oh, yeah, that 2 weeks. That was amazing. That was the best, like, 2 weeks in Knicks history.
Yeah.
Like, that's like...
Jeremy Lin is the single best Knick ever. Like, he's had the most impact and influence.
I heard something about, like, the Knicks the other night did, like, a video montage, and we're going through the decades and, like, showing, like, reels of great players, and they left out Charles Oakley for, like, the 90s or whatever.
Yeah.
But then when it came to, like, the 2000s, like, they only did Jeremy Lin. They left Melo out. Like, Jeremy Lin was, like, the highlight of the 2000s. They, like, completely, like, slided Melo.
Dude.
It's like, whoa. Like,
I would have left. Like, Melo...
Oh, yeah, I would have walked out.
Melo needs to, like, do everything he can to leave the Knicks tomorrow.
Yeah.
Just leave. Go anywhere.
I think after All-Star break, yeah, probably
he's
done.
Gone.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not going to last.
I don't even know what to say about that, like...
It's
gotten
sad.
so bad. They
it's
obviously
just so
they
stupid.
don't want
It's been dragging. They're dragging it out. It's like, just do something with him. Just, you know, you want him gone. Phil wants him gone. Melo probably at this point wants to be gone after all the crap he's been through. Just let him go. Like, make the deal. Make it happen. Get him out of there.
It's at the point where
even though we're in the thick of the playoff hunt,
you've got something like valuable. You want to get rid of it. You go through all your options and you hold off on so many trades, and you tell so many people no. That now nobody wants it now.
Well, see, yeah. Well, Phil's been such an idiot. Like, you know, I can't play with, I can't do, Melo can't play my system, blah, 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 I can't deal with Melo. Now, like, teams are just like, yeah, you have no, like, bargaining ground. Like, we have all the, you know, cards in our hand. We can just give you whatever we want, and you're going to take it because you can't stand Melo, and you've created a terrible situation where you have to get rid of him.
Yeah.
So now, instead of getting Kevin Love, you might end up with, like, Channing Frye and J.R. Smith, you know, because that's what, you know, you're going to take whatever you can get at this point with Melo.
J.R. Smith
especially,
back to the Knicks.
Especially since Melo's such a classy guy, such a class act, Melo is, that he hasn't pushed the issue. Like, he could really force their hand, and, like, they could end up with, like, nothing for Melo.
Yeah.
He's such a classy guy that Phil might get a little bit something for Melo. But if Phil was smart and not a complete idiot as a GM, they could have played their hand right and got, like, another superstar in return. But every team now knows, like, you're desperate, you're going to take whatever you can get, and we're going to lowball you, you know. And eventually you're going to take it. You might not, you know, we could have had the deal done 2 weeks ago, but you'll do it at the deadline because you're desperate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's closing here. You want to get into this Donald Trump situation? Yeah. I have a hot take.
Yeah?
Yeah, I got a hot take. So I've been seeing, you know, like watching the news and whatever, and seeing CNN and, you know, Twitter, just all kinds of, like, you know, all the Russian stuff, and, like, you know, keeping on with that. That's been going on for several months now. The whole, like, Donald Trump's a Russian agent working for Putin. He just had to dismiss what's his name, General Flynn, as his national security advisor, because Flynn was communicating with, like, Russian diplomats before inauguration and blah blah blah, whatever. So he Donald Trump dismissed him, and I think it's my opinion that Donald Trump impeachment hearings will be announced within a month for Donald Trump. That the process of impeachment will begin, and it will be on the basis that he is a treason, basically, you know, against America. That, you know, he's conspired with Russia, his administration's conspired with Russia, and that, he's treasonous, and then he'll go through the impeachment hearings, which I'm not 100% sure what that entails. I think it has something to do, like, the Senate would basically vote.
Yeah.
And if it comes to that, of course he'll get impeached.
Yeah, for sure.
Because everybody in the Senate hates him. He has no friends in the Senate. Even Republicans hate him. So yeah, he would get, if it gets to the point, he'll be impeached. I don't see why not. And they probably would impeach Pence as well, just because they're a part of that administration. They're gonna spend that whole administration is corrupt, and the Secretary of State, everybody, Bannon, like the whole entire administration is corrupt and Russian agents. So that's my hot take. I think Trump's gonna get impeached. I think we'll get the announcement within a month, and then however long that takes, how quickly it goes from there, I don't know. But I think he'll be impeached in this year.
I don't know if it'll happen, but I know I'm on your side thinking that the process will start.
That's what they're pushing for. That's it. That's what
they want it.
That's what the media and like also the politician, government establishment is trying to. They're trying to kind of get the public support and like kind of to turn and like yeah, man, he's a Russian agent, and kind of get that support. That's what they're kind of testing the waters right now and seeing if it'll stick, and I think it has.
Yeah.
Especially with them having dismissed Flynn like that, I think it's sticking. I think people are kind of buying into it. Honestly, I don't know what I think about it or not. I don't know. I can't, like I've said before on the show, it's hard to tell with Trump because everybody's overreaction with everything he does, so you can't tell what's actually real, what's not.
Yeah.
And this is the same situation for me. I really don't know. Like, is he really treasonous? Is he really?
What's the fake news?
Yeah. What's the fake news? Where's the real news?
Yeah.
I can't tell. What's fake, what's not, So, that's kind of the situation I find myself in. But the fact that I'm seeing, like, people I know that, in fact, are fake news, like CNN stuff, and are legit agenda pushers, and they're all for this, and then there's probably something fishy.
That's funny. It's crazy, too, because just because something's on TV doesn't mean it's the real news.
Exactly, yeah. Just because they have a suit on, like, yeah. I mean, they're agenda pushers. That's legit what they are. They're not unbiased media, like journalists. Like they have an agenda, whether it's personal or if it's they're paid to push one, however you want to spin it. They push an agenda. They skew things. They spin things in a same thing on the right with Fox News. They have an agenda and they're looking to glean their agenda out of any situation and make any point that supports their agenda and ignore points that don't.
Yeah.
So, and there's a lot more people in the media right now that their agenda is anti-Trump, and it was pro-Hillary in the election, and now it's kind of turned into just like, well, we gotta get rid of Trump, so let's make it, he's an he's a Russian, anti-American, he's,
that's all committed treason. That's all anybody really needs is just like proof that he was talking to, or somebody in his camp had a conversation with Russians. Then it's immediately everything that we said about Russians was true, and we can blame Trump for that.
Yeah, basically. I mean, Watergate was kind of thin compared to what they could possibly do with Trump right now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, and you know what? Even if like Trump, I don't know. Like if Trump's communicating with Russia beforehand, I don't know. Like, it doesn't really bother me as long as we're having good relations with Russia and not going to war, because that's what kind of like Obama's trying to like goat Russia into going to war, kind of, especially with the sanctions he put on.
Yeah,
and that's what Flynn got in trouble for, was discussing the sanctions that Obama put on with the ambassador before the inauguration. So, in fact, this whole situation is Obama's fault because Obama's retarded sanctions they put on for Russia for no freaking reason. Because they hacked the DNC emails and interfered with the election, which I still don't know how they did that. Nobody's told me how they interfered with the election. Did they actually, like, hack voting machines and switch votes? Yeah. Or are they saying they just propagated us with, like, Alex Jones or whatever and, put this propaganda out there that changed all of our minds that, like, oh my God, Hillary's corrupt. We didn't know this before. Putin told us, that Hillary was corrupt. We got to vote for Trump. Like, I still don't understand how they swayed the election.
Me neither.
But that's how Obama's like, yeah, we're going to send all the diplomats out of the country because Russia hacked the elections. Like, how? You haven't yet. I've not been given one, concrete evidence that they have.
Yeah.
And see, where Trump and them fail, and his people, they fail in the fact, like, all they could say is that, or something similar to that, but they, like, spaz out and start, like, then flinging the attack back.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, instead of, like, being defensive, like, they just, like, instead of, like, defending themselves and, like, putting out facts, they, like, get all, like, offensive and try to go after, everybody. So that's where they fail, and it's just a huge match.
It's what you see from both sides, though.
Huge.
It's never.
Such a mess.
There's no one. Whoever takes the other side's problems and says, "Here's a solution. This is why this isn't going to work." It's just immediately just hate back right at them.
Yeah,
it just keeps going back and forth.
Right. There's no explaining what you're doing. You're just immediately, oh, that's not true, and then you fire an attack at them. It's like this isn't constructive. But that's pretty much the MO of the Trump administration so far.
Unconstructive criticism.
Alternative facts. And
criticism.
Yeah, alternative criticism. So, what percentage chance you give of Trump? What percentage would you put on Trump impeachment? Give it a percentage. I got one in my mind.
That's rough. I'll go down the list. The percentage of an actual legitimate movement to have him impeached, 100%. It actually going to Congress, 80%. After it starts. Percentage of him actually getting impeached. I think the hearings will take forever.
Yeah,
they'll prolong it.
That seems like a drawn out process.
And usually, you would think if it's an impeachment from the country's leader, you want it to be quickly because they've done something.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you don't want them hanging out too much longer.
I know they'll just.
Yeah, that's going to be
prolong
brutal.
It and drag it.
That's going to be so brutal.
Maybe 18 months.
Oh yeah,
they'll finally be
absolutely
impeached. After the whole process has begun, it's on CNN for 24 hours.
Yeah,
and
and we're gonna have Sean Hannity screaming. Not
only will that
tyranny
happen, but it'll also freeze the president's actions. He won't be able to do anything.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
So it'll basically be already without a leader.
Yeah, even if he doesn't get impeached, they'll just in fact freeze his administration for a year or something like that.
Yeah.
Just like they've done with the Muslim ban, they've kind of somehow with the court system have frozen his rights to his power to do anything.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird, and I don't understand how that works really. I give it the movement from the public.
Yeah.
The majority of people, and especially not even the majority, but the people that have a voice, a public voice, 100% absolutely. They're the movement that is turning toward we should impeach Trump. I even see it from celebrities and activists, and that's already the call is for impeachment. If it actually gets to the process of impeachment, give it 75.
Yeah.
And then if it gets to that point, it's 100% he's impeached.
Yeah.
Because he has no allies in any body of government.
No.
And so as soon as they get it, we can get rid of Donald Trump. Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, even that means Paul Ryan's president. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll take our chances. If we can get Trump out of there. And I've seen some people on Twitter or some lady on Twitter was some famous lady. I really don't know who she is, but she's famous apparently. She's first impeach Trump Pence, then have call for a new election. Hillary versus Paul Ryan. Hillary wins and president. I'm no, that's not even in the Constitution anywhere.
No.
I don't even know the precedent for that. How you could even justify that. If Trump's impeached, it would be Pence. But then I think that also Pence would also be impeached because he's part of the corrupt administration.
Yeah.
So they would impeach both of them. They would get rid of all the cabinet. Would basically be cleared out, except for maybe Ben Carson might survive.
Yeah.
He'd be the designated survivor.
Token black guy.
Yeah, the housing urban development. But then Paul Ryan would be president. So
yeah,
then that would be cool for the establishment because Paul Ryan's uber establishment.
That was the problem from the beginning. Is that everyone in the Senate didn't care about anyone except Donald Trump because he wasn't a puppet.
Yeah,
he wasn't their puppet yet.
Right.
They didn't know what was going to happen, and he was just going to be a rogue person storming in. Everybody else is yeah, we're fine. We're fine.
Jeb's cool. I Jeb.
Jeb Bush would be fine.
Ted's not that bad.
Ted's a good guy.
Yeah, I mean, Ted got a bad rap.
See, that's the thing that I believe. I'm starting to believe more and more behind the scenes. It's off camera. The Democrats and the Republicans are both talking together. It's
oh yeah,
this is all a joke,
freaking
right?
WWE.
Yeah, it's just a joke.
You got Triple H and The Rock out there fighting and feuding and calling each other names on in the ring, but then backstage they're best buddies and having drinks. Yeah. That's how Democrats and Republicans are. Then it's there's a B.O.B. song. He's if I don't know he said something if America was The Rock and Russia was Triple H and different countries were wrestlers, then the New World or the Illuminati would be Vince McMahon or something like that. I don't know, something crazy. But that's how I kind of think about like that politics. It's like the WWE. It's dramatic. It's all show.
Yeah.
The bickering in public and on the Senate floor, but then behind closed doors, and like they're doing backdoor deals to help each other out.
Yeah, I really
scratch your back,
that.
Scratch mine. You know, we're cool.
Yeah.
You know, you want to grab drinks after? After the filibuster.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Rand Paul is like the only legit dude in the Senate that like doesn't work with anybody and actually like stands up for something that has a backbone.
Ron Paul was a cool dude. He was pretty cool.
Yeah. I like Rand.
Rand's cool.
Rand's a little like nerdy to me, but I like Rand.
They're cool dudes.
Yeah, they are. They're chill.
They're the like
audit the Fed.
Yeah.
Audit the Fed. Let's do it. Let's audit the Fed.
The Ron Paul
Stop the globalists.
Like in 2012 was so, I don't know. It was so grassrootsy.
Yeah, well,
like all his signs were spray painted by people. Like,
yeah,
he didn't have signs. People would just spray paint.
Like that was like true libertarian party. Yeah, not like Gary Johnson.
No,
that was like basically a Democrat in disguise.
And people knew who Ron Paul was.
Yeah, they still do.
Yeah,
Ron Paul. I think they kind of cheated Ron Paul too during like the GOP primaries.
Yeah,
they kind of like screwed him. Like they were trying to screw Trump, but Trump was such a landslide they couldn't get away with it.
Yeah,
I don't know, crazy times. But yeah, that's my hot take for tonight. You know, if we want to, hot take. Trump gets impeached. Or there's a huge chance Trump gets impeached.
Yeah.
Huge.
I believe it.
That's all I got for tonight, man. I feel like that's enough. I feel like we went over a lot.
Yeah, we really did cover a lot of ground. We got into a lot of
rabbit trails. That's always good.
Yeah, it's always good to get into some music.
Never want to stay on track.
Yeah, go down rabbit trails, especially when it comes to sports.
Yeah, staying on track is stupid. So yeah. It's been lit. We'll do it next week. Be fun.
Yeah, so
see what we'll talk about. See what happens during the week.
We'll try to find some more interesting films or something.
Maybe, yeah.
Or listen to music. We'll come back, discuss, I don't know, the validity of Chance the Rapper's ability to lead the nation.
Yeah,
to church on Sunday.
Okay, to church. Yeah,
Kanye Chance 2020.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we'll start listening to Chance the Rapper in church. That'll be cool.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, probably not.
I mean, nobody really knows.
Probably just end up like Kanye, to be honest. Like, how Kanye went down.
Well, I guess we'll see you next week.
Yeah, have a good one.